Greed. It's a tale as old as time, isn't it? A force that can build empires, or just as easily turn them to dust. Today, we're going to dive deep into this really primal human impulse by looking at two ancient fables. Both of these powerful stories all about desire, consequences, and those wild, unexpected twists of fate.
So let's start with a big question, one I want you to really think about. Is greed just purely destructive, or could it actually be a key to success in some weird, twisted way? I want you to keep that question right there in the back of your mind as we get into these stories.
All right, so it's time to meet our two main characters. Now, these guys are on completely different paths, coming from totally different worlds, but you'll see they're both driven by that exact same singular desire.
Okay, so on one side, you've got Laku. He's our hopeful newcomer, right? He shows up in this new village with everything he owns, his whole life savings, just dreaming of a fresh start. And then you've got Dinesh. This guy is the total opposite. He's already established in his own village, but he's known for being a greedy farmer, always scamming his neighbors. To him, people aren't people. They're just, well, they're stepping stones to more wealth.
And Dinesh, wow, he is not shy about his philosophy at all. When confronted, he basically says, I don't care about you or anyone else. If making money is greed, then yeah, I'm greedy. It's so blunt, so unapologetic. It perfectly sums up how he sees the world. It's just him against everybody else, and money is his one true friend.
Okay, so now, this is where things start to get really interesting. Both of our guys are about to get an offer they can't refuse. One is wrapped up in this disguise of false kindness, while the other is, well, it's pretty much a deal with the devil. The stage is set, and the traps are laid.
For Lachu, the betrayal comes from the one person he should be able to trust, the village head, the Pradhan, comes to him and says, "Don't you worry, I'll send my guys over tomorrow to get your house started." It sounds so great, right? Like a real warm welcome. But we know that behind that friendly offer, there's a cold, calculated plan to steal every last penny from him.
And then you have Dinesh's story, which is, wow, a complete 180. There's nothing subtle about his temptation. A literal sand spirit appears and offers him the power to make it rain. The catch? He has to charge the villagers a crazy high price and, get this, never let his greed end. I mean, this deal is practically custom-made for him. It speaks directly to his deepest desires.
And here we are, the tipping point. For both of our characters, this is the moment where everything just goes catastrophic. A single decision, a single discovery, and their worlds are sent completely spiraling out of control. This is where the true cost of greed becomes shockingly, devastatingly real.
So for Lachu, it's just this moment of absolute heartbreak. He goes off to buy food for the workers, the very men the Pradhan sent to help him, and when he gets back, the house is empty, the men are gone, and the chest with his entire life savings, also gone. In a single afternoon, everything is lost, stolen by the very man who promised him a new start.
Dinesh's disaster, though? Oh, it's entirely his own doing. See, he gets impatient. The money isn't coming in fast enough. So what does he do? He takes all the magic sand and just dumps it all at once, thinking he's going to get this huge downpour of cash. But instead, he unleashes a flood of ice, a terrifying blizzard that literally buries his village, threatening to wipe out everything and everyone.
So, in the aftermath of these catastrophes, the two stories just fork off in completely different directions. One goes down this path of almost magical, super ironic justice, and the other? Well, it takes a much harder, but maybe more meaningful, path. One of redemption.
This brings us to this awesome literary idea called poetic justice. It's basically when the punishment perfectly, and often ironically, fits the crime. And Laku's story has a perfect example. After losing everything, he gets this magical chest. The greedy Pradhan, of course, sees it and thinks, more treasure for me. But the second he tries to open it, poof, he's trapped inside, literally consumed by the very greed that drove him.
Dinesh's path, though, is completely different. There's no magical punishment here. Instead, he has to face something way harder: accountability. Looking at the destruction he caused, something inside him just breaks. He has this total change of heart. He stands before the villagers, apologizes, and, this is the important part, he acts. He starts leading the effort to save everyone, building shelters out of sacks, cotton, even an overturned tractor. He goes from villain to hero.
So, what's the final moral of these stories? Let's pull it all together and really look at what these ancient tales are trying to teach us about character, our choices, and, of course, the consequences.
All right, let's break this down. Look at the Pradhan.
His motivation was simple greed, and his consequence was simple and ironic. He gets trapped by it. Then there's the Sand Spirit, who wanted revenge, but gets totally thwarted by Dinesh's unexpected redemption. Our hero, Lachu, who started with just hope, shows kindness even when he has nothing, and is rewarded beyond his wildest dreams. And finally, Dinesh. He starts with all-consuming greed, causes total destruction, but then he completely redeems himself through selfless action, breaking the curse and saving his people.
And that really brings us back to where we started. These old stories show us that greed can absolutely lead to ruin, for sure. But in Dinesh's case, it also weirdly led to redemption. So it leaves us with one final question, and this one's for you. In your own story, what role does greed play? Is it the villain? Is it a motivator? Or is it something way more complicated than that?